Welcome to Security 101, a quick overview of techniques for system access authentication. The purpose of this presentation is to discuss several key issues in system security, especially as they apply to SAP. Most SAP installations are set up with basic username, password, logons, and some extra capabilities for power users. Our purpose is to show that you can greatly increase security by using more sophisticated access techniques. There are three basic categories that all security techniques fall into: what you know, what you have, and who you are. System protection and security increase as you move through those levels. The first category of techniques is based on what you know. This means that SAP looks for a valid username password combination and lets a user into the system based on that. The problem today is that people have just too many passwords to remember, so they do one of two things. They write the passwords down, often in obvious places, or they just use the same password for different software applications, maybe including their personal ones. Does this sound familiar? Passwords are the highest risk security technique. If someone can obtain your password, they effectively become you. How can you be sure that nobody is impersonating you via your password, especially if your system has no automatic audit trail? The result of only using passwords is a high risk of insider fraud and a lack of accountability for individual users. Your greatest security risk may be from the inside, not from external threats. The second category of security techniques is called what you have. This includes smart cards, tokens, dongles, and so on. All you need is to have possession of the device to authenticate or to generate new passwords. Most of these devices are only tied to a user profile, which theoretically is tied to an actual user. Some smart cards do store biometric data, but the user must have the device with them at all times. In other words, what you have. There are still many risks with security techniques based on what you have. The most obvious is that the devices can be damaged, stolen, they can be lost or borrowed. If a user comes to work without it, they can't log in. Similar to passwords, how sure can you be that the designated user is actually using the device and not someone impersonating the designated user? Only if the device is encoded with biometric data can you be sure that the correct person is logging in. The highest form of protection occurs when you use the third category of security, which is known as who you are. This is also called biometrics, and the best known and most convenient technique is fingerprint scans. These scans can be transformed into encrypted templates that uniquely identify a user in your system while keeping the user's data private. A biometric template is unique to a person as opposed to a theoretical user profile. With this third category of security techniques, risk is actually decreased in the areas listed. Especially the risk of insider fraud is decreased, which is the greatest danger to many organizations. When you identify users on the basis of who they are, you remove doubt as to who is actually responsible for a given activity in your SAP system because you have an indisputable audit trail that leads back to each user. As you progress through security techniques from what you know to what you have to who you are, you move closer to the maximum level of security achievable. Ask yourself, where is your system security today, and where would you like it to be? Find out how to implement SAP security based on who you are. Call 1-877-BioLock or send an email to info@biolock.us. Thank you for your time.